We're burning it all down. Hey everybody, welcome back to the homestead. This is Kevin and Sarah with Living Traditions Homestead. Well, we've got a little bit of a problem. Our garden did amazing this year. I mean, better than we had ever dreamed that it would do. That's not the problem. In fact, I'll put a link up here so you can see how well the garden did. But the problem is, we didn't keep up with all the weeds. Life got busy. In certain parts of the garden, the weeds just got out of control.
Right.
Especially in the areas where we had like our squashes and that type of thing that kind of spread out on the ground. And we couldn't really get in there to pick weeds. They got out of control. We'll admit it. We didn't do as good of a job as we could have. But this is where we're at now. So we need to get the garden ready for winter. We need to get it ready to be able to put some new wood chips on top and just have it rest over the winter. But we don't want to just cover up all of those weeds, even though they're dead right now.
Well, and the seeds. Right,
because there's all the seeds. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a weed torch and we're going to burn it down. We're going to burn the whole thing. And hopefully that will kill at least most of the seeds that are in there, the weed seeds. And in spring, we'll be able to start off fresh.
Right. We also have some things in there that have just died, you know, over the course of the fall,
tomato plants
and the birdhouse vines and that kind of stuff. So we're just going to take this opportunity to burn it all down. We don't till up our garden. This is a back to Eden style / lasagna style garden.
Right.
So we're not going to be pulling anything up. We're not going to be tilling it in.
Right. Now, you know, you hear a lot about the Back to Eden gardens, and we've had a Back to Eden garden now for about 6 or 7 years, that, you know, you won't get weeds. That's simply not true. You still get weeds. You get less weeds than you do if all you do is till the ground up and, you know, plant your plants. But you still get some weeds.
Right.
Now, typically, if you can get to them when they're young, like we should have done, they're pretty easy to pull up because they're only growing in that top layer of the mulch, and they're easy to pull up. But once they get established and out of control, they make it through that mulch into the ground, and then they're hard to pull up, just like any other type of garden.
Right. The Back to Eden style definitely makes the weeds manageable.
Right.
If you are persistent.
Right.
But it really, honestly, it's not day after day after day. If Kevin and I would have gone out to the garden once a week and picked the weeds, it probably would have taken us an hour or less once a week to do that. Things just got busy, just like they do in everybody else's life.
Right. And like I said, in parts of the garden we did a very good job.
Yes.
Around the tomatoes, around the peppers, things like that. It was in the hard to get to areas, like, you know, the vining plants and things where it was hard to walk, that they really got out of control. So this is our solution, and today's the day. We're burning it down because we're about to get a couple days of rain.
Right.
And now it's, you know, getting into winter. Things aren't going to dry up very quickly. So we figure today it's do it or probably maybe not get to it. So we're going to get it all burned down, and then we're going to bring the tractor over and start putting new wood chips down. So
that's for another day.
That's for another day. But that's the next step after we burn it down. So we're going to get to work, and we're going to bring you guys along. This electric netting that we used around the garden this year worked amazing. We didn't have any problems with rabbits or raccoons or deer or anything else getting in the garden. We ordered this from Premier One. I'll leave a link over here to a video that we did when we ordered this that goes through exactly which fencing we ordered, the solar or the electric charger that we ordered for it, and everything else. But I would highly recommend this electric netting from Premier One. And the nice thing about it is, at the end of the season, I can just take it down, roll it up, and then I can get in here with the tractor to do, you know, my new wood chips for over the winter. And, you know, we figured out when we bought this what the price of permanent fencing would be, and this was just about the same price as permanent fencing would be, and we can take it down in the winter. It's a win-win. All right, in case you guys aren't familiar with what a weed torch is, this is it. It's basically a big torch that connects directly to a propane tank, and you can use it to burn weeds along fence lines and things like that. And you can see it's pretty powerful. So let's get started.
Bit of it going, and we're just gonna let it continue to burn through the garden. You know, we'll light here and there as we need to, but we'll give it the opportunity to really burn out the weed seeds and just destroy all of the old plants and stuff from this summer, and that'll be it. We can move on to the next step, which is putting mulch down and getting everything ready. We'll actually put rabbit manure down and then mulch on top of it to get it ready for the spring.
You guys, it's still burning, but it looks to me like it was pretty much a success. A few things that it didn't do. It didn't burn up the old like tomato plants and things like I was hoping, which was really just kind of a selfish plan on my part, because then I wouldn't have had to come out and, you know, get them out of the garden. But
not just you, me too.
Well, Sarah too. But it looks like we're going to have to do that anyway. Now, because we do a no-till, we won't pull the plants because we don't want that soil getting loosened up. What we'll do is we'll use like a loppers that use to trim your trees, and we'll just cut the plants off at the ground and take them out that way. So that really won't take us much time, especially now that most of those weeds are gone. Now, I wanted to talk just a little bit about you know, how we let it burn. We're not letting any one spot burn for very long, so that we're only getting that stuff above the ground. We're not letting it burn, you know, the good mulch and stuff and the good microbes and stuff that have been in the ground. We're just letting it burn the stuff on top, and then we're putting it out. So once we put down a new layer of mulch and let it sit over winter, I don't think there should be any adverse effects to the garden itself. In fact, all of this ash may actually be good for it. So.
Right. Our primary goal really was to burn out all of the weed seeds, and I really think that we've done that very effectively. Now, it may not solve all of our problems for next year or next spring, but it really put a gigantic dent in that.
Right. It'll at least give us, hopefully, a fairly clean slate to start with.
Right.
So we can be lazy and not do it again next year.
Hey.
No, every year we say we're going to be good about the weeds, and every year I think we get just a little bit. We get a little bit better.
We do.
But you know, life is busy, and sometimes the weeds grow faster than everything else.
Right.
So, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave. If you have any questions or comments, if you've ever tried this or have any questions for us, leave those below. And until next time, you guys, thanks for stopping by the homestead, and God bless.
God bless.